A hearing happening today in the Pulaski County Circuit Court over the date set for a special election to fill the late Senator Gary Stubblefield seat. And joining me now to break down all that went on in the courtroom, our digital Capitol reporter Alex Kinlan. Thanks for coming on today.
You're quite welcome.
All right, first, for those of us who don't know, take us through the history of this case right now and how we got to this point.
Senator Gary Stubblefield passed away. He represents District 26, which includes Franklin County, where this controversial proposed prison is going in. After his death, a special election date was set, but that date extends way past the April fiscal session scheduled for the legislature. And the argument's been that the law says 150 days, there should be an election within 150 days. That way Franklin County would have a representative in the legislature, not only for the fiscal session, but as soon as they can get somebody in there, because of course, as you know, there's hearings going on right now, there's legislative affairs going on right now. So that's the argument, that Franklin County is not being fairly represented in this, or District 26, I should say, is not being fairly represented in this.
So what is the case itself? Who's involved?
Well, it's Colt Shelby, who's a Franklin County resident, filed the case against Governor Sanders and Secretary of State Jester. And he, again, that date's too far out. That date needs to be moved up.
What did you learn in court today?
Well, they still feel the same way. And the case was presented that, in fact, the Franklin County Election Commissioner even got up and explained that she proposed some earlier dates, and she said we could do this much easier. And those dates, which I'm sorry I don't have off the top of my head, would have somebody in that office prior to the fiscal session. Fiscal session, by the way, it's important for the fiscal session because that's probably where they're going to try to fund the prison, which is why Senator Brian King, who was one of the witnesses today, pointed out the importance of these things earlier. The state is arguing that the governor is free to set that election date whenever she wants, that it says 150 days, or it also says, in effect, as soon as practical. And she said, well, she did it this way to save voters money and to make sure it's an honest election. The state continued that it puts a lot more pressure on election officials if they move the date up.
Okay.
Other legal arguments, but
that's the gist of what happened.
Yeah.
Now, this area, Alex, as we all know, we've been following the story of the Franklin County prison proposal right now. This area would represent the prison. Does that have any play in here, or was anything mentioned about the prison itself in court?
I don't recall hearing the words "the prison" in there, but when I talked to some people after the hearing, just milling about outside the courtroom, I certainly heard a lot about the prison. And needless, as we know, people in Franklin County have come out strongly against it. The late Senator Stubblefield was certainly against that prison. Senator King, whose district does cover part of Franklin County, is certainly outspoken about this prison and his opposition to it. He today, when I asked him for his opinion after things, and he referred to this as a calculated political scheme by our governor, and it should concern all Arkansans.
Okay, so no decision today, though.
No decision. The judge is going to write up a decision. She assured the packed courtroom that the decision would be made quickly.
Okay, all right. Alex Kinlan, our digital Capitol reporter. Thank you so much, Alex, for coming on today.
Stories online.
All right.